It was just past midnight when the warning came. A phone call, the kind that freezes your blood without a single word being said. You need to look outside. Something's out there. A voice on the other end whispered, shaky, almost frantic. Lisa pulled her old, worn blanket tighter around her shoulders, the farmhouse creaking beneath the weight of an unsettling silence. As if on cue, the ancient wall clock ticked, its sound unnervingly loud in the oppressive dark. She tried to dismiss it, to tell herself it was just her imagination running wild. But the feeling was undeniably prickling on the back of her neck, hairs standing on end. Like an unseen presence was lurking just beyond the soft glow of the porch light. Her husband, Jake, ever the pragmatist, brushed it off without a second thought. Probably just a raccoon, he mumbled, his eyes glued to the muted TV screen, completely oblivious. But Lisa knew better. This wasn't a raccoon. The very air in the room grew heavy, thick with anticipation. Outside, the wind, which had been playing a gentle lullaby against the window panes, suddenly stopped. The world fell eerily still, as if it was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen, and then it did. A slow, deliberate tapping came from the back door. It was soft, almost delicate, but impossible to ignore in the profound quiet. Lisa's breath hitched in her throat. The sound finally broke through Jake's indifference. He turned, his eyes darting from her terrified face to the door and back again. In that moment, she knew he felt it too. The dread, the certainty that they were no longer alone. "Don't open it," she murmured, her voice barely a whisper. But before he could respond, the tapping intensified, growing more urgent, more demanding, like something was desperately trying to get in. Lisa's survival instinct kicked in. She grabbed a large kitchen knife from the counter, her hands trembling so badly she could barely hold it. She edged toward the door, her heart a frantic drum against her ribs. And that's when the world plunged into absolute darkness. The power went out. The house was swallowed whole. No moonlight filtered through the windows. No distant street lamp offered a sliver of comfort. There was only the tapping, which now felt closer, more intimate. A silhouette materialized just beyond the door's glass pane, a tall, unmoving shape, simply watching. Lisa's heart hammered against her chest, threatening to break free. "Who's there?" she demanded, her voice cracking under the strain. There was no answer, just a breath of dry, ragged inhale that didn't sound like it belonged to any normal living thing. It was a sound from a nightmare. Then an even more terrifying silence descended, but it was somewhere in the distance, from the direction of the deep woods behind their home. A low, guttural growl rose, cutting through the night. It was a predatory sound, full of malice. Lisa stumbled back, clutching the knife like a holy relic, her only defense against the encroaching dark. Jake fumbled in a drawer for a flashlight, but in the chaos, it slipped from his grasp, the batteries scattering across the floor. "Call the police," she whispered, every nerve in her body screaming as the tapping resumed. This time, it wasn't just at the door, it was on the windows. First one, then another, methodically circling the house, trapping them inside. Lisa backed into the farthest corner of the room, her eyes fixed on the blacked-out door where the deadly watcher had been. She felt its presence, its unblinking stare, even through the solid wood. And then, just as suddenly as it had all begun, a scream shattered the silence. It was raw, piercing, and full of pure terror. It was Lisa's scream. When the emergency responders finally arrived, hours later, long after the sun had begun to rise, the house was silent again. The oppressive dread had lifted, replaced by a cold, sterile emptiness. There was no sign of the entity that had haunted Lisa's final night. No footprints in the soft earth around the home. No broken branches, nothing. Except for the back door, now hanging loosely on its broken hinges, swaying gently in the morning breeze, and a thin, dark trail of blood leading from the doorway across the yard and disappearing into the dense, dark woods. Lisa was gone. The only thing left behind was a chilling note pinned to the refrigerator with a small magnet. The handwriting was shaky, desperate, the letters barely legible. It contained a simple, terrifying message. They're watching, they never blink. The officers who found it exchanged uneasy glances, a shared shiver running down their spines. In the weeks and months that followed, Lisa's disappearance became a local legend, a ghost story whispered around campfires. Anyone who has been near that abandoned house since swears they can hear it, a faint, rhythmic tapping on the windows, especially on nights when the air is perfectly still. And sometimes, when the wind dies down just right, a sound floats through the trees, a dry, ragged whisper, like a single, strained breath. The story always ends with the same warning, passed down from one person to another. A warning to those who dare to venture too close to the woods where Lisa vanished. Don't look back, because something deadly is always out there, always watching, always waiting, and it never, ever blinks. The house remains empty, a hollow shell of fear, a monument to a night of unspeakable horror. It's a place where the night itself seems to hold its breath, afraid of what still lurks in the shadows. A place that serves as a constant, grim reminder that some things are not meant to be seen, and some doors are never meant to be opened. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more chilling tales. Stay safe and check your logs.